You know, obviously when I looked up at the scoreboard going into their last drive and saw that we had 420 yards and they had 234, the score on the board doesn't correlate to that. So we have to delve into why that is. And certainly in any game, particularly on the road, when you come in and you give up 3 touchdowns, you know, depending on your point of view, whether you view field goal as a special teams play or an offensive function. For us, it's an offensive function, just like field goal rush is a defensive function. You can't give up 3 touchdowns like that. So, you know, that's the obvious story of the game. Statistics are irrelevant. You know, time of possession, yardage, first downs, you know, all that stuff we did pretty well. It doesn't really matter when you don't win on the scoreboard. So, with that being said, I think we're going to have a good football team. I like our guys. I love their approach to the game. They were locked in. We've got to clean up, and we cannot make big errors. And frankly, there are very few teams in all of college football that can make the big errors like we did today and win the game. So that's where it's at.
How much different do you think this game is if not for the third quarter blocks that just opened it up?
Oh, you know, I think we win. You know, we went to the locker room at halftime feeling pretty good about ourselves and kicking ourselves for not being up. You know, they count. they're the plays in the game. So we gotta get that fixed, and you know, obviously we got it fixed within the game. But you know, I would say this, Mark, it's a calculated gamble trying to stay healthy in spring ball and training camp, and we did not train those the kickoff coverage, the punt coverage where it really showed up live. We didn't do it. And the other thing we're trying to do is we're playing virtually no starters on our special teams. You know, that's a decision I've made, and you know, we got out of camp healthy. We didn't hurt anybody, but you know, it wasn't good enough. So we'll make improvement on that. Again, you take a calculated risk, and the reward was not there for us tonight.
With a little extra time to prepare for Arizona, can you put some live work in? And do you look at now putting some starters in special teams? You know,
we'll look at the depth and maybe playing some starters, but we won't practice it live. We got live work, we've got live film to coach off of now. I mean, we'll be we can't really go scrimmage that this time of year. You know, I think we'll play much better next week in those areas. I mean, big errors. You know, you can't make big errors. I mean, the margin between winning and losing when you get into somewhat balanced games is just that. And you have to be ready for the big play, and you have to make them when the opportunities present themselves. So, as I said, you know, those plays count, so you can't discount them, obviously. But you know, beyond that, there's some things to really look forward to, I believe. I think Minnesota's got a solid football team. You know, we watched them in their bowl game against Texas Tech a bunch. That was their last game last year. They have a lot of guys back. They feel like they're much improved. I would agree with that over a year ago. I think that we're going to have a really good football team. I'm fired up about our guys. I liked what we did. Really liked what we did on defense tonight, aside from the last 2 minutes of the game when, you know, we had some guys in there that probably won't see a lot of time. But aside from that last drive, I thought we played really well on defense. So we haven't done that. We have not done that sort of thing on defense to date. So a lot of things to build on, but the big errors we just can't have.